Let everyone get connected. Super excited. I did get a few emails that some people will have to miss tonight. And it looks like you're already recording it, so we'll be able to send it their way. What's up, Carson? Long time no see. Carson and I got after a workout earlier today. Guys, crushing it. Welcome. We got the chat going. Let's get, before we kind of jump into introductions and talk about all that stuff, let's put in the chat just where everyone, what state or province or country that you're in. And let's just kind of get to know each other. So let's put, hold on, in the chat, let's put your name, what team you play for, and where you're from. So name, team, where you're from. And Sophie's here hanging out with us tonight. Sophie, say hi.
Hi.
Say, do the work.
Do the work.
Girl. All right. See, we got Peterborough Phantoms in England. That's awesome. Kachinas. Maya from Arizona. Bianca, Chicago Reapers. That's a scary name. Illinois. Carson Bloom, the Gators from Norfolk. Sophia from AZ Mission. Is Jeremy Goltz? No, does he coach that still? Nice.
Yep.
Let's see who else we got. Jayla.
Oh, Barry Sharks, not too far from where I'm at.
Ontario.
Or from where I'm from, not where I'm at.
You're up in Canada right now. We got Admirals in Ontario, Maryland Junior Black Bears, Barry Sharks. We got Alex for the Vacaville Jets. Davis, California. Cool. Ice Dogs from Illinois. Eric and Kevin Dukes. We live in Ontario. Cool. Awesome.
Nice.
Minneapolis. I was hoping we'd have someone from Minneapolis. Looks like we got Peyton joining. Anthony. Careful, so. All right. Welcome to class. The cool part and the reason why I like to do that, and usually we just do where we're from, but today, since this is kind of the start of something that's really, really special when you think about it, the idea that all of you hockey players and athletes have decided to really put a development focus on your minds. And when you think about the game of hockey, when you think about the top players in our game, right, you think of the Hillary Knights, you think of the Sidney Crosbys, they always say like that player just gets it between the ears, right? That player is just stronger mentally. That player is always dialed in. And so when you think about what all of you have committed to for the next 10 weeks, it's pretty special when you're willing to do that. And it shows that you guys and gals care about your future. And obviously hockey stops at some point for all of you. Hold on. So she wants to know how to spell do the work. I'll teach her in a second. But it's pretty special that you guys and gals want to do this for the next 10 weeks. Because a lot of coaches, like I said, they're always like, well, they just don't get it. You can't teach that. You can teach a lot of those things. And that's what Lauren and Lindsay are here to do. And so today is going to kind of be on the shorter side of our classes, because today's just to make sure everybody understands what we're using and how you're going to get the content. And then also to introduce your coaches a little bit more, answer any questions that you might have. And then we have a few questions for all of you as well. But before we jump in too deep, I do want to introduce our coaches. We've got Lindsay Fry and Lauren Williams, who I brag about almost every day in the coaching world, because it's pretty cool when you get to work with these two ladies. And so I will we'll have Lauren kick it off and just kind of introduce yourself, and then hold the questions, athletes, until let them kind of run through, and then you can ask a few questions about their playing career.
Yeah, oh God, making me lead off here, man. So my name is Lauren Williams. I'm originally from Windsor, Ontario, so all of the Ontarians in the room love to see it. I grew up playing in my hometown, and actually ended up having to move 4 hours north to Toronto at a pretty young age, because I needed to get the scouting exposure necessary to play at the college level, and that was something that I was always really passionate about. I ended up playing my 4 years of college hockey at the University of Wisconsin. Go Badgers. Love them. Yes, love to see it, Peyton. Great. And I had the time of my life there. Absolutely loved playing for them and learned a lot about myself and my mental game while I was at college. More or less how little of it I had at the beginning, we'll say that. I think one of the biggest things that I'm excited to teach all of you at such a young age compared to when I learned this is how important it is to have, your mental game in check when you're trying to improve as a hockey player or when you're leveling up, whether it's, you're moving from A2 to A1 or moving up to AAA or moving into maybe a new district where there's better players. If your mental game's not there, you're going to struggle and in a way that you don't really understand, right? Well, I don't get it. I've practiced this forever. I know what I'm doing, and then I hit tryouts and it's like it all disappears, right? I definitely had that experience. So yeah, I'm excited to share all that with you and ready to get into it.
Love it. Thank you for sharing. Start thinking of questions you want to ask her. We'll take a couple each, but let's have Lindsay jump in and chat a little bit about her journey and what she's excited about.
Yeah. Well, I think most of you guys were on some of the original calls, so this might be a little bit of a repeat, but I'm Coach Lindsay. I am actually in Arizona, so that's I'd like to think that's why we've got a couple Arizona kids on here. Maya, Peyton, both play in our association, so awesome that you guys are on here. For me, I was fortunate enough to go on and play. I mean, I grew up in Arizona. I played in high school in Colorado because, kind of similar to Coach Lauren, we didn't have a lot of great options in Arizona when I was growing up. And so now we do, which is awesome. But I had to leave home when I was a kid. And so when I left home, similar to Coach Lauren, and then I went on to college, played at Harvard for 4 years, it was a huge struggle. And so I think the biggest thing for me was, and something Coach Lauren and I have in common, is I'm going to make an assumption that a lot of you are probably some of the better players on your team. The reason I make that assumption is because you're here. You're clearly motivated. You clearly want to get better. You clearly have that desire to get to the next level. Okay. And so when you go from kind of being one of the better players in your hometown or on your team or whatever, and you go into that next level, sometimes it can be really scary. It can be overwhelming. You can feel like, wait, what the heck? I'm not, like, I thought I was good. Now I'm not good. Like, what's going on? And that was kind of how it was for me when I went to college. I went all the way across the country, 3,000 miles to go play in college. And it was a completely different world for me. So I mentally crumbled. I was like average at best my freshman year of college. I was a little better my sophomore year, but it wasn't until really leading into my junior year, my third year of college, that I started really focusing on the things that we're going to learn in the next 10 weeks. When I really started taking my mental game as seriously as my physical game or my skill game when it came to hockey. And when I did that, that was the most important switch I ever made as a hockey player, was focusing time on the mental side of the game. And when I did that, all of a sudden I became more consistent. I became more mentally tough. I was able to push through workouts and challenges I had never been able to push through before. I was able to stay focused on things. So it was just a complete game changer, and it all happened right here. So that's my passion for doing this with you guys and teaching you some of these concepts. I tell everybody the biggest shift I made from being a college hockey player to making it onto an Olympic team in 2014 was the 6 inches between my ears. It was all mental. So that's my passion. That's my why. And that's why I'm so excited to kick these 10 weeks off. We're going to have a ton of fun. We're going to learn a lot, and it's going to be awesome.
Super pumped. Before we jump into kind of the housekeeping stuff, meaning like how we're going to give you the content and how you guys and girls are going to react, does anybody have a question for one of their coaches that they're looking to ask? So Ian asked most important mental game tip. That kind of stuff I think we'll dive deeper into when we get going. So as far as questions tonight, if you have a question like just about their playing career, but the mental stuff like the game tip, stuff like that, Ian, your coaches are going to cover and give you more than just, you know, the best tip they can give you. They're going to give you a ton of good content here in the next 10 weeks. But are there any questions?
I will say, Coach, real quick, we're going to start you guys by doing 2 full weeks on just mindset. Like that's going to be the foundation of everything we do. So I think like a high level answer to that question is getting yourself into a good mindset where you can grow and develop and have, you know, just a different perspective on the world. So that is like as deep as I'll go, but there's a reason we're focusing 2 weeks on it right off the bat, because it is like the base of everything we're going to learn. So mindset, there's a reason we're calling this thing Project Mindset, because your mindset is going to be really the key to unlocking all of these different skills we're going to talk about.
Love that. Is there, so if you guys, I'll give you like another few seconds here, but if you have questions, you can either like raise your hand virtually and ask it to one of your coaches. But mainly if it's about like their playing career or anything that you're just kind of wanting to know about them before you get started, because it's a big thing. Like, yes, this is virtual, but it's important to understand that these guys are your coaches, right? These ladies are going to help you through the next 10 weeks and make you better. And so Peyton asked a good one. What got you started? Which is crazy. Peyton asked a good one. She's wearing a Wisconsin shirt. You wouldn't think that. Just kidding.
Stop making fun of state schools, Danny.
Yeah, that's true. What got you girls started in the game of hockey?
I had an older brother who played, and I used to go to the rink all the time with my parents to watch him play. And then I got pretty sick and tired of being freezing in an old rink. So I decided to start playing. And pretty much anything my brother did, I had to do. So that included hockey.
I fell in love with the Mighty Ducks movies. That was pretty simple. I love D2 was always my favorite. So like getting to play on Team USA was always the dream. And yeah, so it's all Mighty Ducks for me.
I would agree. D2 is the best. I want to hear your thoughts on have you watched the new Mighty Ducks shows?
I haven't yet, but who has on here? Like put your thumb up if you have.
You know
a couple people. Yeah. Is it like good reviews? Those of you who have your cameras on, like give me some nods. Good. Yeah.
It's all good. Right. The first scene I think every hockey parent should watch. It's pretty eye-opening actually, and it's it's pretty cool. But I love it. And I think it's not as good as the originals, like not even close. But I think I just like it so much because I want it to be awesome. So I've watched every episode so far. They're phenomenal.
Carson has a similar review, so I'll have to dig in here soon.
Guys, I have a confession to make. I've never seen the Mighty Ducks.
Jeez.
What kind of hockey fan am I? I know.
Well, now we know what we're doing next week.
All right, guys, so I'm actually going to be missing next week's Zoom because I'm going to be binging.
Coach Lauren, you've got homework to do.
Yeah, I do.
Love that. Speaking of homework, we're going to jump into a couple of housekeeping stuff, just so we're all on the same page because things kind of got messy. For those of you that are our current Project Hockey members, you know that we use the app called Sugar Wad. And soon it's actually going to be called Project Hockey, so keep an eye out for that. But all right, so sorry guys. But for this class that we're going to do, the original plan was to use Sugar Wad and that app, but it's not going to work the way we want it. Hopefully the next go around it'll be ready to go. But for now, the game plan is to use Google Classroom. So can everyone, before I share my screen, can everyone just put in the chat either yes or no that they got into Google Classroom? So yes, I'm in. Yes, yes, yes. Good. No issues. Awesome.
I like the French coming in.
Oh,
We,
is that French?
yes.
We
We.
Okay, I was trying to get that figured out. Love it. Just kidding, I knew that. All right, awesome. Yeah, it says we don't have yes, but I do not done anything yet. Okay, no worries if you haven't done anything yet. We've been kind of messing around with how to make it work the best, and so there haven't been any stuff in there, but you should see this when you get to the Google Classroom, and understand that there's going to be a couple things like you'll see when you have classwork. You'll also see the biggest things is this feed. And so tonight, well, tomorrow we're going to post the video that this creates. So we'll share this in there because we have a few of our teammates missing tonight. So we'll share that with them. And then at some point, either probably we'll post it tomorrow, just our pre-project hockey mindset questionnaire. And that's going to be posted tomorrow after the video. We'll post that video maybe tonight or tomorrow. And then tomorrow you will get your first piece of homework, which is the pre-project hockey mindset questionnaire. And so make sure you do it. The biggest thing I can't stress enough is the idea that the more you put into this class is the more you'll get out of this class. And so if you don't do any of the homework stuff, if you don't do any of the actual work, the Zoom classes will be great. And yes, you'll learn from them. But 95% of the time, the coaches are going to be talking about the stuff that they had you do during the week. And so the way the weeks are going to be set up is Thursdays will usually be the first day of the week where you're getting, and correct me if I'm wrong, girls, but Thursdays when you're getting some homework and you're going to be getting some different stuff to do throughout the week. That's going to really set you up to have a successful Zoom class, which will be this time every Tuesday. And then Wednesday will kind of be that debrief day where we just post the video so kids can catch up if they missed it, kind of an off day if you would, and then it reloads for the next week. But in Project Hockey, so I'm going to be super clear, sugar wad will not be used. So you don't have to be in it, you don't have to be checking it at all, you don't have to be getting the links there. Everything that you need will be in this Google Classroom. And if you can't find it, just shoot us an email and we'll get you help right away. But you're going to have the main stream, which is where like we'll post Zoom classes tomorrow, like we posted the video from the other day. And so we'll just keep posting updates in there. Also, you guys and girls can ask questions in there. So if you're sitting there, it's a Friday or Saturday and you're like, I don't know how to do this, post a question on it, right? So you can literally come down here, and if there's a comment or something, you can just go down, or if you have a question on whatever it is. So like if you're like, oh, I don't know where the passcode is, or the passcode's not working, you can just type in here like, what's the passcode? And we get an email notification. So we'll be able to jump in there and answer those questions. Another thing
Coach,
that,
can
go
I
ahead.
jump in on that real quick? So you
Mhm.
guys, I know that you're all going to be respectful, but when you're typing stuff in there, I don't want you like commenting on other people's questions. I don't want you like you're not talking to each other necessarily in there. It's really more to talk to Coach Lauren and myself. And if there's anything like negative, bullying, any of that in there, then it's going to be an issue. So please, please, please be respectful. Please use this as a tool to communicate with me and Coach Lauren. We're creating a positive environment. It's going to be awesome. So just something to keep in mind, that if you comment on somebody else's question, what you think is maybe funny or what you think is okay, they may not feel that way. So really just try to keep it like, if you're going to communicate in here, that's really going to me and Coach Lauren. Okay. Just kind of a ground rule thing.
I love that. And I love that you brought it up. And just so everybody knows, we do, as the teachers in this Google Classroom, we do have the ability to cut anyone off from commenting and or kick them out of the class if they're not being a positive member of our team, which I don't believe will have any issues, which is why we left the commenting on. And so make sure you prove us right. Cool. And then the other thing is classwork. This stuff will show up on the feed as well. Plus, if you set your notifications up, you'll get emails. And so the coaches are already kind of in here plugging away, getting stuff ready for you guys to really develop. And I'm telling you, and I'll say it 100 times, the more you put into this, the more you will get out. This one that we posted on May 6th, if you already did it, awesome. If not, don't worry about it. We're going to be posting it again throughout the next couple of weeks. That way we can all get on the same page. This was just kind of a tester thing down here at the bottom. So don't worry about it if you haven't done it yet. But are there any questions on that side of things, like the Google Classroom side? You can drop it in the chat if you have any questions about that, or raise your hand and we can unmute you. All right, it's pretty straightforward. Show of hands, has anyone ever used Google Classroom? Carson, never? Are you frozen again? Carson, oh, there he is. Carson's got the big mic. He must have a podcast or something. Okay, cool. So now, those are the biggest things. Again, email us, but the majority of the communication is going to go through the Google Classroom. So ask away on questions on that if you have any. Otherwise, we're going to jump into some questions, unless, ladies, you have anything that you want to add housekeeping wise before we jump into this.
No, I think I'm good. Yeah, just if you guys ever get stuck, or if you like don't know what you're doing, just ask. I would rather you ask and one of us helps you figure it out than like go 6 weeks and then be like, coach, I haven't been able to access any of the assignments for 6 weeks and I don't know what to do. Right? So just we're here to help you. So don't be afraid to ask questions.
Absolutely. All right. So we were going to do this in the chat, but we're going to do this a little bit differently. I'm going to share my screen, and this will be your first piece of homework tonight. So we're going to post something here in the feed, and then you guys and girls are going to, in the comments, you'll just add your answer in the comments so we can kind of get some conversation going here in the next couple days. But on this feed, I want you to say, what is your greatest strength and what is your greatest weakness? Anything else we should add to that, coaches?
Check grammar check, coach. Spelling
What?
check.
Got it. Anything else? My biggest fear is spelling in front of people, so that was a huge thing for me to do right there.
Well, then we should add that. What is your greatest fear?
Love that.
Or like, what is your greatest hockey fear?
You just want me to spell more in front of people.
We're just helping you through your mental barrier, coach.
I'm a school teacher and I never write on the whiteboard. I always have a kid come up and do it, simply because I know I'm going to mess something up. And whiteboards don't have spell check yet, so they need to figure that out for me. All right, so I am going to post this. It's going to go to all of our students, and then you will see it live in our stream, and then you guys and girls will just add your comments in there. Before we let you go and jump on your homework, and before we give your coaches the last words here, are there any other questions that we can help answer to make sure everybody's going to start this off on the right foot? In the chat here, I'll put my email address, projecthockey@gmail.com, if you have any questions. But final thoughts here, ladies, whoever wants to. So are these your mental strengths and weaknesses? What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, you can do that. You can talk about kind of your hockey strengths and weaknesses too, because it could very well be like, I'm not very fast, right? You say that, well, are you actually not fast? Or are you just like mentally judging yourself about not being fast? So if you want to do your mental strength and weakness, you can go that deep. Otherwise, if you're like, I don't know what mental strengths and weaknesses are yet, then you can talk about just any of your hockey strengths, weaknesses, fears. Does that sound good, Coach Lauren?
Yeah, no, I think it's important to go wherever your mind takes you first.
Love it. This will kind of get us into the zone, and I do want everyone to be aware, like if it's something personal and you're like, I just really don't want to post this, send it to us in an email, so we can get that to your coaches, because we don't want that to be a barrier for you to get as much out of this as possible. So if it's something that's just like, this is my weakness, or this is my fear, but I don't want to post it and let everybody know, shoot it to us in an email. But closing thoughts, ladies, before we tie a bow on this.
Just to go off that a little bit, like I want everybody to, yes, like if it's really personal and you don't want to share it, that's totally fine. But also, these are your teammates right now, right? We're all in this together, and we're here to help each other through this. So this is a supportive group. This is the group that you should feel able to share that kind of stuff with, and know that instead of getting judged for it, you're going to have a bunch of hands on your back supporting you through it. So don't be afraid to get a little vulnerable and rumble with that a little bit, because that's how we get better at the end of the day. All right?
Love that.
Yep. That was going to be my echo, is the same thing, right? This is a safe space. It's a judgment-free zone. We're here to get better. We're here to learn from each other, and we're here to lift each other up. And we're all going to be that much better in 10 weeks. It's going to be awesome. So I'm excited. Is everybody else excited? If you're not showing your face yet, hopefully eventually everybody's showing their face, because we feel safe and comfortable and we want to look at one another. But for right now, I'm getting claps, I'm getting thumbs up, so I think that means we're excited. Oh, nice. Justin, Alex, nice to see your guys' faces. Sophia, looking good. This is awesome. So this is gonna be great, you guys. So I encourage you, as we get going on these live classes, show your face, show, like it feels so much more like we're a family, like we're, a team, like Coach Lauren said, when we all can see each other in this kind of weird virtual world. Okay, it's a lot cooler than just a gray box with your name in it. So look at that, Anthony, Finley. I love it. I love seeing the faces. Cool. We'll make that 100% by the end of 10 weeks.
Love that. I got to send Peyton a Minnesota State Maverick shirt here soon. Other than that, great night. Have an amazing rest of the night. Make sure you get your homework done. Make sure you're on the lookout for that questionnaire tomorrow. And then some more content will be released as the week goes. But as always, let's do the work, and everybody have a great night. Take care, everyone.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. See you later.
Thank you.
Wisconsin is not the only college that I've been looking at.
Love it.
I've also looked at the Gophers.
Oh, come on. That's worse.
That's even worse, Peyton.
Oh.
Come on.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I used to love them when I was little.
No, Peyton.
Peyton, we're gonna have to talk.
You don't want to wear that gold and maroon.
No.
No.
I realized how wrong I was, which is why I have almost all Wisconsin clothing and no Minnesota. I have one hoodie and all Wisconsin stuff.
Get a Harvard.
Oh man.
Harvard
Literally.
stuff.
We said this
Daily,
is a safe
I wear
space.
shirts like this.
We said this is a safe space, and we're chirping her for wanting to go to. You can want to go to Minnesota if you want to, Peyton, but I would just strongly, as your collegiate advisor.
I love that. All right, guys and gals.
If I were to count how many Wisconsin shirts, well, not just shirts, clothing, earrings, socks, hats.
Oh my gosh.
Love it.
You've got more than Coach Lauren.
I even have a tiny Bucky speaker. It's adorable.
Nice.
Amazing.
All right, guys. We'll see you later. Take care, Alex. See you, Justin.